We're flying from Abu Dhabi to Sofia, Bulgaria. It's a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon, so we're joining the locals for a walk in the park. This beautiful building is the National Theater. These guys are playing the Led Zeppelin classic Stairway to Heaven. We stopped to watch the changing of the guard at the Office of the Presidency. Behind the building are a couple of surprises. The Church of St. George is the oldest building in Sofia, dating back to at least the 5th century. And it was built on a much earlier pagan temple. Roman ruins surround the church. Sofia was originally a Thracian settlement called Serdica. The Romans captured the town in 29 BC, and it thrived as an administrative center. Back on the main boulevard, a statue of Saint Sofia dominates the intersection. She replaced a statue of Lenin in 1991. Facing St. Sofia at the other end of the block is the former headquarters of the Communist Party. Other government buildings have a distinctively Soviet look to them. These heavy doors are appropriately to the Bulgarian Central Bank. This is the former Royal Palace of Bulgaria. It's now the National Art Gallery. St. Sofia Church is the second oldest church in Sofia, dating to the 6th century. Next door is another interesting church, the Cathedral of St. Alexander Nevsky. It was built to honor the Russian soldiers who died in the Russo-Turkish War of 1877-78, which liberated Bulgaria from Ottoman rule. Alexander Nevsky was a 13th century Russian prince who successfully defended the homeland against Swedish, German, and Muslim invaders. We walked through a flea market on the way back to the hotel for a short break. Then we're off to a special evening at the National Archaeological Museum. The Thracians are credited with being the first people to develop the technology to work with gold, around 5 millennia BC. The Danube River Delta had large gold deposits, so raw materials were plentiful. The artifacts show not only a mastery of the technology, but also the art of goldsmithing. The jewelry is really amazing. This golden death mask dates to the 5th century BC. This wreath or crown dates to the 4th century BC. There's also a considerable collection of gold coins. But that's not all. There's pottery, and there's intricately detailed bronze and silver vessels. And bronze helmets. This lifelike bronze was found in the tomb of Sethus III. He was a contemporary of Alexander the Great and ruled Thrace from 331 to 300 BC. Also in the collection are artifacts from the Roman period. The Romans conquered Thrace in 46 AD. The Byzantines took control of the area when the Roman Empire divided in 395. In the 6th century, the southern Slavs gradually settled in the area. And still another special experience, a concert by a Bulgarian folk chorus, while we continue to explore the museum. This morning we're at Sofia's central train station. We're going for another train ride, this time a steam train, circa 1939. The engineers finish their preparations. The conductor checks and gives the all clear. And we are headed southwest out of Sofia, leaving a trail of smoke behind. Time to explore the train. This is the personal train of the last king of Bulgaria, King Boris III. In 1943, Boris III refused Hitler's demands to deport Bulgarian Jews and to send Bulgarian troops to the Eastern Front. He died of an apparent heart attack after meeting with Hitler in August 1943. The crop here is sunflowers. Only the stalks remain. We stop at Radomir station to let another train pass and to feed the stray dogs. Maybe it's just the overcast weather, but the homes and farms look a little tough. What might be an old collective farm is definitely falling down. And this building's definitely seen better days. We have arrived at our destination, Radomir. The crew on a new train checks out how things were, and our crew gets the engine ready for the return trip. Close to the station are some Soviet-style apartments. Further out of town, the homes seem a little better. This is Saint Ivan of Rila, a hermit who founded the Rila Monastery. It's located about 70 miles south of Sofia in the Rila Mountains. St. Ivan's students started this monastic community in the 10th century. The monastery received support from Bulgarian rulers. By the 12th century, it was a center for Bulgarian culture and spirituality. This current site was developed in the first half of the 14th century. The Tower of Haurelio is a defensive structure and the oldest building in the complex, dating to 1334. The Ottomans arrived at the end of the 14th century and raided and destroyed the monastery. It was rebuilt at the end of the 15th century and became the keeper of the Bulgarian language and culture during Ottoman rule. The monastery was destroyed by fire in 1833 and reconstructed between 1834 and 62. The residential buildings, with cells for 300 monks, date from 1816. The amazing frescoes were completed in 1846. The frescoes inside the church are not as bright and fresh as the ones in the portico, due to the soot from the candles. The museum has some interesting artifacts from the 14th to the 17th century, but no cameras. One last look around at the details, then it's time to go. We stop for lunch at Gorsky Kut, not far from the monastery. Appropriately, we're having monastery-style soup and trout raised on site. We take in the countryside on the bus ride back to Sofia. Dinner is at Veseloto Selo, the Happy Village. The decor is rustic and happy. We start with appetizers, family style. Our main course is turning slowly on the spit. We're entertained by singers and dancers representing all the ethnic groups of Bulgaria. For the grand finale, we go outside for a Nestinar Stavo, a traditional fire dance from southeastern Bulgaria.